Hey Birchouse friends, welcome back. So this week's question is a comment question, and it comes from our good friend Andrew, who asks, "Hey Birchouse, can you do a tour of your workshop?" Um, so the workshop is in a little bit of a state of chaos right now because we are doing a reorganization, and I am doing a pretty significant resupply, restock. But absolutely, come on, let's take a walk.
So, just to kick things off, my workshop is in our home's basement. And so, while I'm not going to take you through our laundry room and all of that jazz, or take you down the steps, it's not necessary. I did want to show you at the top of the steps, I do keep a collection of all of our first runs of all of our shields. And so you can see Targe and a Stretch Team Kite shield, and a couple of Viking shields up there, and heater shields, and these are all our first shots at them, and most of them are from our stress test videos as well. So just something really cool. It makes me smile every time I head to work, and I thought I'd show you.
So I wasn't real certain how we were going to film a tour, if I was going to like hold the camera out in front of me or do like this selfie thing that I'm doing like now, or if I was going to have somebody follow me around. This is the route I chose. Hopefully I can show you the workshop in a kind of a concise manner. But my workshop is in a basement, and the basements are our home. You can see the steps leading up over there. And so this is kind of the first segment. This is a segment I don't really use, but there are a couple cool things to show you. So for starters, there's these clamps here and right there. And these clamps are what I use to build the majority of our shields. A large portion of historical shields are made from butted planks. And, you know, you get several planks and you start getting sizes like 3 foot, 4 foot wide. And I need these large clamps to get everything to clamp together and get a nice tight fit between the planks so they're really sturdy. I'm going to walk you back. I have a bulletin board back here, and I just have some memorabilia stuff and things of that nature. News articles people have sent me about historical things. This one's on, my grandmother sent me on American chestnut wood. Business cards from all of our partners, people we work with, or have come to know and really like. And I keep a stack of business cards as the business has advanced, and, you know, added YouTube one year, added TikTok last year, had slight redesigns. And so I like to have a stack of business cards to kind of show the progress of the business. Over here, by the steps, are some shield templates. There's a Viking shield template, and here's half of a heater shield template. So I can quickly get shields drawn out. Down here are some boxes that I use for shipping. And finally over here are a bunch of ratchet straps, a ton of ratchet straps. Now these are used for bending shields, things like heater shields and kite shields that have a curve to them. We use a frame that I'll show you a little bit later. It's in wood storage. And we use these ratchet straps to bend them over our frame and achieve a nice curve to our shields. And then over here is part one of our wood storage. I have wood a little bit everywhere, and so this is kind of stuff that I'm using immediately, and some cut-off stuff, things that I can grab quickly when we're building. So that's kind of part one of our wood storage. Now, you all are familiar with this setup. This is our kind of our main setup where I do 99% of the work, and you can see it's kind of this L-shaped or cube-shaped workspace. So I have my main workstation. This is where I do a majority of my work, and it has the planer back here. I have this little metal table and cart. A lot of work happens here. Nothing in particular, just when I have like overflow work, I end up over here. Cart has things like screws, rivets, washers, things of that nature. And then our workbench. Again, another area where I do work. I do a lot of things like grinding. I do a lot of things like anything that's going to kick up dust. So grinding, working with the Dremel, working the orbital sander over there, drilling, all that stuff kind of happens over here. And you can see I got a little Sten gun replica there. I got some fun stuff there. Got my Donatello going. I have a little 3D printed dragon from 3D Prints by Billy. And I have a little Yardman Gunder from Oogla's Night Forge to keep me company down here. Just little fun things that are down on the workbench. And you can see some of the tools we got going. Hammers and saws and screwdrivers and burrs and all that stuff. And a Gundam, because, you know, you always need a Gundam. Over yonder, we have a work surface with my bandsaw and drill press. These are probably two tools that get used the most, question mark. I use them an awful lot. And as you can see, this has been stickered up, as well as my workbench. And you'll see I have a toolbox over there. It's pretty well stickered up. You ever want to get me anything for Christmas? Get me stickers. Use the surface quite a bit. I use these tools quite a bit. I've had lots of people come and go, wow, cool shield, cool helmet. These are just wall hanger decorations. And I brought them down because I actually used the shield to help me build displays for shields so that people can hang their shields up in their home. The helmet's down here for the same purpose. You can see he's on a little helmet display. We do offer helmet displays, so I use him to kind of help me build helmet displays. I have something to put it on and kind of see what it will look like with something on there. Over here we have spray paints, and we have wood stains and wood glues and finishing oils and polyurethane and all the fun stuff to make the wood look really nice at the end of its process. We do have tool chest here with tools in it. Some decor stuff. I have a bunch of wall hanger knives and a sword. That's all kind of wall hanger stuff just to make the wall look nice. And I do have a station down here with all this wood that I need to put away, but I do have this table here. It acts as a kind of station for the belt sander. We use this tool quite a bit, as well as all these weights. Now, I do have you probably saw it, a weight bench over yonder. And, you know, I use it for lifting weights, but more often than not, I'm using the weights when we build our kite shields or any shields. When we build shields, I talk about using these clamps, these large clamps. Well, when you're compressing all it together, they begin to pop up. They begin to resist. As you clamp tighter and tighter, the boards tend to pop up. So we use these weights to hold everything down while they are curing, while the glue is curing. So let's move on into the office. All right, so we're in a side room that I call the office, and mostly because I have a desk down here, and I do some actual work in here. You can see I do wood burning down here. I do some sharpening down here. I do some other work, but largely the desk is here for me to keep track of all of our custom orders. At any given time, we have a handful, and I have a place with the order written down, all the specs that they want for their custom order, any notes that I have personally that I want to have for myself or that I need to ask about, any questions they've asked and I want to, I need to do research for or whatever. So all my custom order stuff here, and I use the desk for that purpose. Business cards. Hey, here's an important one. Thank you cards. I always send a thank you card with everything I ship. It's a nice thing to do, and it's kind of lost art. Send out thank you cards, guys. It's really important to show appreciation. And then you can see I've got some trinkety crap up there. Back behind me is a wall of first run stuff. There's like some artwork stuff that I kind of did, like those mountains there that I kind of did early on. There's a prototype kid sword and a spear for an atlatl and an early canabo. You can see a dream catcher down there, one of our early drums. So a rope dart that I had made from very, very long ago. Things of that nature. Kind of our first run things. That's an early display for a sword. I just keep down here because I like to see the progress of what I've done over the years. This room is mainly for holding materials. And so that's what this shelf is. It's our milk paint and our leather and fur and linen, things of that nature. I have this really cool medical cart back here. My dad works at a hospital, and they were selling off one of their crash carts, and I scooped it up. And this thing is awesome. And you can actually see they still have labels on here for like tongue depressors and oxygen connectors and alcohol pads, things of that nature. That haven't moved off yet. But down here you can see there's things like leather tools and sandpaper, templates, stencils, tooling leather scraps, things of that nature. All that stuff is kind of down here. And this room is mostly decorated with flags. There's one from Black Flag and from Gundam. I got a Ukrainian flag and a Viking flag and a Gurkha flag. I really like flags. It's just something that really fascinates me about flags, and so this room I decorate with some both historical and fantasy sci-fi flags. So back here is wood storage. Hold on, before we continue the tour, I just wanted to show you something real quick, and that's the things that are hanging above this door frame. These are bits of material and things we found, things we've traded, that are just ended up being kind of special, and I keep them in our door frame. So there's a deer shoulder butt blade that I found on a beach. There's I was gonna say a minion, an Among Us stuffy that I found while foraging for wood. There's a little blood knot made by Ashen Relics, and there's a little bone charm that I traded at a festival, as well as some cool wood and a Flash figurine, and just really cool things that, for one reason or another, kind of ended up being special because of the business. And the intention is, most festivals do like a kind of a trade thing. And so I've traded lots of cool things at festivals. And the goal is to put these kind of charms in every door frame. So I didn't mean to stop up the tour, but it's just really cool and I wanted to show you. It is really sparse right now because I am in desperate need of restock. There's some cutoffs. And this is what is remaining of my cherry and my walnut. It desperately needs to be reorganized. I actually have several planks upstairs that I am getting ready to bring down, and I'll reorganize all of it, make sure everything gets labeled. And beyond that are those frames. And those frames are what we use to bend things like kite shields and heater shields with those ratchet straps I showed you earlier. And there's some paint back there. There's some American chestnut back yonder. Like I said, this room needs to be reorganized a little bit, but that's pretty much the entirety of the workshop. So I'll catch you in just a second because I'm getting ready to draw a question. And there you have it. There's a short tour of our workshop. I know it's kind of quick and gritty. I'm not super confident how this video is going to turn out, but the workshop is very small. There's a ton to show. And I keep everything kind of tight for efficiency's sake. I'm just one worker, so if I keep everything kind of close together, then I can have everything at hand. Having said all that, it is also pretty disorganized because we are going through a reorganization or restructuring. There's some things coming for the workshop soon that I'm not quite ready to reveal yet, so that's kind of where we're at there. Otherwise, that was a great question. Thank you so much for asking. I'm going to grab a question for next week. And this is, again, these questions were asked during the Ohio Viking Festival. And this one comes from Andrew Galiotto. I hope I got that last name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. My last name is Chick, C-Z-I-C-H, and it gets butchered everywhere I go. So I apologize if I didn't get that right. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. And if you do have a question for Birchouse, comment below with "Hey Birchouse, ask," and we'll answer in a future video. In the meantime, we'll see you all next Wednesday.